Okay. We want to look at partial fractions again, and now have the form ax plus b over x plus c times x plus d. The process is exactly the same as the one we used previously. I'm going to say that this is some number over x plus 5 plus some other number over x minus 4. So we put this expression here over the common denominator, x plus 5 times x minus 4. Now, if you don't remember how to get from here to here, it's only been a few days, go back and review it. That way you'll lock it in a little bit better. But you're going to get a plus b times x plus 5b minus 4a. And I hope I did that right, since I did all that kind of in my head. So this equals this. So we have 2x minus 3 over x plus 5 times x minus 4 equal to this. Now we can multiply both sides by the denominator, goes away, leaving it with just 2x minus 3 equals a plus b times x plus 5b minus 4a This has to be true for every possible value of x. If it's true for every possible value of x, then a plus b has to be equal to 2. If it wasn't equal to 2, then just changing x would make this not equal to the 2x. Okay, so a plus b, we'll do this, a plus bx has to equal 2x. Otherwise, changing x will change the truth of this statement. That almost looks like 2 raised to the x, so let's do this. And also, 5b minus 4a would have to equal negative 3. So, if a plus b times x equals 2x for all values of x, then we can divide both sides by x, leaving us with a plus b equals 2, and 5b minus 4a equals negative 3. Now, I've written this in an inconvenient order, but that can happen. Okay, so we can rearrange, we just change the order in this equation here, change the order of the a and b terms. We get a plus b equals 2, and negative 4a plus 5b equals negative 3. Now if we call this equation 1 and this equation 2, we solve this by elimination. Now, this is something that you will have done in a section by the time you see this. So that this is quite straightforward, but I'm going to write it out in detail anyway. I multiply the first equation by 4, and my a terms are going to be equal and opposite. I'm going to have a 4a and a negative 4a. I multiply both sides by the 4, so I'm going to write it. And I wrote the 1 without leaving myself room to write the 4. But I'm going to do 4 times equation 1, meaning 4 times multiply both sides of equation 1 by 4. So I'm going to get 4a Remember, it's 4 times the whole side. Be 4 times the quantity A plus B by the distributive law. That's 4A plus 4B. That's going to equal 8. And then I'm going to have negative 4A plus 5B equals negative 3. Of course, that's just equation 2. Then I just add these equations. And the 4A negative 4 is going to give me 0. 4B and 5B is going to give me 9B. 8 and negative 3 is going to give me 5. Then I divide both sides by 9, and you want to write out that step, unless your algebra has been pretty well flawless throughout the course. Okay, we have then B equals 5/9. Well, take that and plug it into either equation. Let's go ahead and plug it into the first equation, which will then become A plus 5/9 equals 2. Multiplying both sides by the denominator, common denominator. We're going to have 9 times this plus 9 times this equals 9 times this. And that's going to give me 9A plus 5 equals 18. Now you want to write out the intermediate step here. I'm skipping it, but I want to see it in your homework where you write out every step. If you think you don't need to write out every step, just ask me. Okay, I'll tell you whether you need to write out every step or not, because some people maybe don't. Most people do. Okay, in any case, here, my dots here indicate steps we need to include. At this point, we simply say, okay, well, we divide both sides by 9, write that step out. And we get A equals 13/9. So now, we want to write this equation out and check it. Okay, so with all these arrows and stuff, I didn't leave myself a whole lot of room. Let's see if I've gotten up. Nope. Okay, I'm going to squeeze it in. Okay, we want to say then that 2x minus 3 over x plus 5 times x minus 4 is equal to, okay, A over x plus 5. That would be 13/9 over x plus 5 plus B over x minus 4, which would be then 5/9 over x minus 4. Now we have a complex fraction. Okay, 13/9 over x minus 5 is 13/9 times 1 over x plus 5. And 5/9 over x minus 4 is 5/9 times 1 over x minus 4. And that equals then 13 over 9 times the quantity x plus 5, and I'm going to multiply that out, 9x plus 45 plus 5 over 9x minus 36. Okay, well, I'm not sure how promising that looks, but let's proceed a little further. Okay, so now we're going to kind of reverse the process. This will be our answer. But we're going to check, and I want to see the check in your work. Okay, so Okay. Nothing wrong with what I wrote except it isn't spaced right. Don't think there was anything wrong with it, we'll find out. Okay, so this is going to equal 13 over 9x plus 45 times 9x minus 36 over 9x minus 36 plus 5 over 9x minus 36 multiplied by 9x plus 45 over 9x plus 45. Now, 13 times 9, that's 130 minus 13, which is 117x. Oh boy, why did I pick such big numbers? 13 times 36. Now here's where we could get in a little trouble. Maybe I won't get my arithmetic right, but 13 times 30 is 390. 13 times 6 is 84. So 390 and 84 is 474, I hope. You'll naturally use a calculator to do this. And then this is going to be skipping a step here where I put this over the denominator, then I put this over the denominator, but the denominators are going to be the same in both cases. So I'm combining them. So now I have denominator 9x plus 45 times 9x minus 36. Now 5 times 9x is 45x. And 5 times 45 is 225. Okay, now at this point it's obvious it's going to work out, right? No, actually it's not. Okay, so 117 and 45 is 162. And 225 minus 474 is 475. That would be negative 250, so it's 249. I'm a little bit leery of my numbers here, but we'll see. Okay, and that's over 9x plus 45 times 9x minus 36. And there's something wrong here, because this number should be 1.5 times this number, which means if this number is right, this should be 243, not 249. I know that the last digit here can't be 4 because of this, so I did something wrong here. I've got 390 and 84. Because I multiplied 13 by 6, which is not 84, it's 78. This would be 6 less, which would make this 6 less. So this should be 68. And this will now be 243. So these two have to be in the ratio, the absolute values of these numbers have to be in the ratio of 3 to 2. So I saw pretty quickly that wasn't going to happen. Okay, well, little digression. Check your work. in whatever way you can. Okay? Now, this 162x minus 243 divided by what? I can factor a 9 out of here, and I can factor a 9 out of here. It would be 9 times x plus 5 times 9 times x minus 4. So this is going to be 162x minus 243. 9 times 9 is 81. We have this. I'm going to ask you to probably complete this, but all we have to do then is divide the 81 into both the numerator and denominator. We're going to get a 2x minus 3 over x plus 5 times x minus 4. So I'm just going to assert that. But it's pretty obvious. Might be a little hard to read way down there at the bottom of the board. This is identical to this. So we verified that this process works. The process itself is no different than the process that we used when we just had a number over two linear factors. Simultaneous equations are very similar, except that the first one isn't equal to 0 as it was. We just had a number and no x term. So there it is. And I do want you to do the check to exercise your ability to deal with fractional expressions, rational expressions.